Yo, David, what the hell do you think you're doing here? How dare you show your face in this house after all these years? Mom was in tears when she saw you. She couldn't believe that you had the nerve to come back. Why did you have to ruin everything by showing up now?
She was in tears? Are you kidding me? Because she didn't seem very happy to see me. She slapped me across the face and pushed me out the door as soon as I stepped inside. I was shocked by her hostility, to put it mildly. I was just passing by for work, so I thought I would pay a visit. But she rejected me from the get-go and even cursed at me.
Well, I don't blame her though. It's all your fault for coming here without any warning. Or maybe you didn't bother to think ahead because you're just a high school dropout. Don't you remember that you have no right to be here? You're nothing but an ignorant loser. Go back to your construction job because you don't have the talent for anything else. The rest of us have been striving to overcome the shame you brought us, and we were almost successful in erasing you from our memory.
How can you be so cruel to your own brother? I've been sending money to mom and dad every month for over a decade, like $1,000 each time.
You act like that's a big deal, but $1,000 for us is just pocket change. We don't need your pity, but you kept sending the money, month after month, like that was the only way to keep in touch with the family. But it's too bad because we just burned it all in the fireplace and made s'mores as it turned into smoke.
What kind of ridiculous lie is that?
Whatever. But the truth is that we never wanted any of your money. Thanks to your extra cash, we were able to indulge in some luxuries, that's for sure. It's not like anyone asked you to send that money. You were doing it on your own accord. And now you want to whine about it. Don't be such a wimp. Don't you have any dignity as a man?
Well, if you didn't want it in the first place, I'll take it all back then.
We spent it all. So there's nothing to give back to you, you moron. You're demanding something back that you've already given. That's such a stupid move. Oh, but that's right. You never finished school, so I guess you don't know any better. What a shame that you never learned the basics of such things.
I never graduated high school because mom and dad were too busy with you to care about me. They cut me off as soon as I was old enough to work. And they were the ones who threw me out of the house the day after my 16th birthday.
That's no surprise. Why would they waste their money on your college education if they never had any hope for you? They always knew you were a failure. On the other hand, I aced every exam in high school and even graduated as valedictorian in college. I'm about to start my new career with a prestigious company. The complete opposite of how things turned out for you. My academic achievements are admired by everyone. I am the perfect daughter that everyone envies. They're even planning to erect a statue of me at our old high school to celebrate my success.
What a pathetic town. That just sounds like a misuse of everyone's tax money. Isn't there a more worthwhile way to spend all that money? It's as if you're flushing all that money down the toilet.
You're just bitter, aren't you? But I totally get why you would feel that way. This kind of opportunity will never happen to you. Maybe in your fantasies, but it still doesn't change the reality that you're a high school dropout.
Why would you tell such an obvious lie? I've never heard of any high school building a statue in honor of one of their graduates just because they landed a fancy job.
Okay, fine. You're just consumed by envy, aren't you? But that will soon be over because I've made up my mind to sever all ties with such a worthless brother. So you better not dare to contact me ever again.
The feeling is mutual. I hope I never have to hear your voice again. But are you sure that's what you really want? Don't come running to me for help when things go wrong.
What are you blabbering about? Nothing's going to go wrong for me. Dad is one of the most influential executives at his company, and Mom is a successful sales manager for a luxury cosmetics brand. And I've already been guaranteed a managerial position at Dad's company with amazing benefits.
What your so-called prestigious job is with Dad's company.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? They even said that they would give me a huge bonus as a reward for my first paycheck. Ugh, I am so lucky that I was the one blessed with the brains. It would have been so humiliating to end up like you.
You just used Dad's connection to get hired there. That doesn't prove anything about your intelligence or skills. And you want to act like you're superior to me? How pathetic.
Just be quiet. At least I'm not trapped in the same construction job for a decade with no chance of ever progressing. Anyway, talking to you anymore will only drag down my intelligence to your level. So goodbye. And don't forget, this is the last time we'll ever speak to each other.
Don't worry. I promise you that I won't miss speaking to you. But as I said, you better not beg me for anything.
As if that would ever happen. Don't pretend like we owe you some huge favor for that paltry amount of money you've been sending. Go back to your construction site and shovel some dirt or something. I'm starting my top-notch corporate job soon. So we are already on different planes, don't you think? It only makes sense that I no longer mingle with someone on the bottom rung of society like you.
Fine, whatever you say. Take care then, and don't say I didn't warn you.
You better not bother me ever again, big brother.
Please, David. I'm begging you. You have to keep this a secret. You can't tell anyone about what you saw. Dad, how can you not feel any shame for what you did? That girl looked like she was barely out of her teens. How can you just kiss her like that in front of everyone? You must have lost your mind. I snapped a picture of the two of you without even thinking. We both had a few drinks, too many. There's really nothing serious going on between us. It was just a one-time thing. It sure didn't look like it was nothing. It looked like the two of you were very intimate with each other. It's too bad that I don't feel any loyalty to you. So I'll decide when and to whom I reveal what I saw. Wait, you can't do that. I'm your father, so you have to respect me. Really? Don't you remember what you said to me when I visited the house the last time? You told me that having me was the biggest mistake of your life and that you wished I was never born. Not very fatherly behavior, if you ask me. You've hurt me many times before, but those words were the most painful to me. And after all these years, I've been sending money every month because I cared about the family. No, I didn't mean what I said that day. It was your mother and Harley. They were always bad-mouthing you and insulting you. I was just influenced by their negative talk. You have to believe me. Whatever. Let's just pretend you didn't mean to say those things, but you still said them to my face, which is unforgivable. You must be crazy if you think that's a proper way to treat your son. I'll tell you right now that I've had enough of your nonsense. But after this incident, I realize that I despise you guys now. I'm feeling quite proud right now, knowing that I have the power to ruin your life. I can destroy your reputation with this evidence. You have to forgive me. I'll do anything you want. I'll beg on my knees and even return the entire amount of money you've sent over the years. Anything it takes. So please, just do me this favor and keep quiet about all of this. I see. So this woman must be very special if you're willing to humiliate yourself to keep this hidden. I'm more curious about the situation now. No, it's nothing like that. You have to believe me. Fine, then you should have no problem telling me everything about her. Who she is, why you're willing to do whatever it takes to keep this a secret. I want to know everything. Everything? I don't know if I can do that. It's up to you, but don't forget that I have proof of your cheating. I can send these photos to your office right now if I want to. Then I'm sure it won't take long until her identity is exposed. Fine, I'll talk. Just promise you won't send the photos. She's the CEO's daughter. What? Are you serious? Yes, but she's already engaged to someone else. So if word gets out about her being with me, I'm sure you can imagine how terrible the situation will be. And she was the one who seduced me, so I had no choice but to go along with it. I don't want to hear your excuses. There's no point in trying to defend your actions to me. You're right, but you'll keep your word now and not say anything about this, right? I'd also appreciate it if you'd delete those photos as well. What are you talking about? I didn't give you my word. What? Did you hear me? I didn't give you my word. All I said was that you have to tell me the truth. And unfortunately for you, the fate of these compromising photos is in my hands. No, please. I'm begging you. Just reconsider what you're doing. If those photos get leaked, it'll be the end of my career and marriage for sure. But you'll also be destroying your mother and brother's lives as well. Of course, I know that. That's why these photos are so precious. They give me the leverage of deciding what happens to you and your family. You little bastard. You better be careful what you say next. You see, I'm extremely angry at the three of you right now. You threw me out of the house the day after I turned 16 and left me to survive on my own since then. And you've insulted me ever since for dropping out of school. But whose fault do you think that was in the first place? I still felt like it was my responsibility as the eldest son to support the family. So I've kept sending money every month, especially for Harley's education. I'm so sorry. I totally regret treating you like that now, so please forgive me. It's a little too late to apologize now, don't you think? And I hope you didn't think that your regret erases any of the suffering you've caused me. Anyways, farewell. Wait, David!
David, I need to speak with you urgently. Can you spare me a few minutes of your precious time?
Well, what a pleasant surprise. The prodigal brother returns, and he even remembers his manners. You must be really desperate for something. But hold on, didn't you say that you never wanted to see me again? That you were ashamed to share the same blood as me? Why are you even bothering to contact me?
Look, I know I said some harsh things, but things have changed. Something terrible has happened. Can we talk face to face? I'm begging you.
I'm sorry, but I have more important things to do than listen to your sob stories. Why don't you just text me whatever it is you want to say?
Fine. I'll get straight to the point. I need you to start sending money to us again.
What?
And not just the $1,000 you used to send every month. I need you to increase that amount to $1,500 from now on.
Are you kidding me? What makes you think that I would even entertain such a ridiculous request? After all the insults and accusations you hurled at me, do you really expect me to do you any favors? You must have lost your mind.
That's why I'm putting aside my pride and asking you nicely. Please, David, we need your help.
Yeah, right. I don't owe you anything. Let me guess. I bet Dad lost his job or something, right?
How do you know that?
Because I was the one who made sure he got fired.
What?
That's right. That pathetic excuse for a father. He was cheating on Mom with the CEO's daughter. And I had all the proof I needed to expose him. Since I was the one who took the photos of them in a compromising position. So I sent all the evidence to his office. And that was the end of his career.
You did what? How could you do such a thing?
Oh please, don't act like you have the moral high ground here. Dad is the one who betrayed us all. He deserves to suffer for what he did. He brought this on himself.
But you didn't have to ruin his life like that. If you'd kept your mouth shut, no one would have ever found out. And because of your stupid stunt, they also canceled my job offer. How am I supposed to survive now?
Oh, I knew that you would lose your job too. That was part of my plan. But you said it yourself. I'm just a worthless high school dropout. I don't know any better. I can't possibly comprehend what's best for the family, can I?
But you're the reason why everything is falling apart at home. Mom also got fired from her job because they discovered that she was stealing money from the company. Wait a minute. There's no way that you...
Oops. I guess I forgot to mention that I was also behind Mom's downfall. Do you know what she was doing? She was selling cosmetics to a certain client at a discounted price and keeping the difference for herself. It was so easy to uncover her little scheme when I started tailing her. But what can I say? It seems like my worthless nature just runs in the family. You know what they say, right? The apple doesn't fall from the tree.
Wait. So you're telling me that you also set up Dad?
Bingo! Did you think that it was just a lucky coincidence that I stumbled upon Dad and his mistress? I'm not that fortunate. I just wanted to get back at him for rejecting me at that time. So I decided to follow him around and see if I could find something to use against him. And lo and behold, I got the perfect shot.
You're a monster.
Monster? Is that what you call me? The real monsters are the two fools who brought us into this world. One who was foolish enough to have an affair with a CEO's fiancée, and the other who was foolish enough to steal from her own employer. I was just exposing their crimes and giving them what they deserved. There's nothing wrong with that.
But still, that's not something you do to your own family.
What family? You said it yourself that you were cutting all ties with me. We're no longer family. We have no obligation to one another. And we are no different than strangers passing each other on the street. That's what you said, isn't it? Or did you forget your own words?
Yeah, but
But what? But you also said that you were so much more capable than a high school dropout like me. That you had a bright future ahead of you. That you didn't need me or anyone else. So why didn't you just go look for another job with a different company? I am sure your excellent skills and qualifications will make you a shoo-in wherever you apply. A job offer too shouldn't be that hard of a task for you, right? I mean, you're accomplished enough to have a statue built in your honor and everything. Or was that just another one of your lies?
About the statue. It was just a little lie. They're not really building a statue of me.
Of course I know that. You think I'm stupid? Well, if they were going to build a statue of you, it would only be to symbolize the town's biggest idiot. The one who threw away his family and his career for nothing. The one who has no clue what he's doing with his life. And then beg me for money?
Shut up! You've done nothing but insult me and our family this whole time. Fine. Then you know what? I'll show you just how capable I am. Let me prove to you once and for all just how much better I am than you. You'll see that. I'll work my way up from here. You'll regret ever crossing me.
Work your way up? That's a joke! All you did was take advantage of Dad's connections. You didn't even lift a finger. You just coasted along on his reputation. You're finally at the same starting point as everyone else who actually earned their positions. Everyone starts out with no money or connections, but they just fight and struggle to obtain that job offer. They just hustle and grind to make their dreams come true. Now, it's your turn to do the same. But do you have what it takes? I doubt it.
Now just shut the fuck up! You don't know anything about me. I'll show you how capable I am. You'll be completely speechless when you see how far I've come.
Hey, I thought you said that construction work was way below your standards. That you would never stoop so low as to do manual labor. I never imagined walking into my office to find you waiting to be interviewed. I couldn't help but laugh at such a coincidence. What are the odds of that happening?
But why? Don't tell me you're the boss.
That's right. I'm the boss of this company. When I was kicked out of the house at 16, my boss here was kind enough to hire me without a degree. He saw something in me that no one else did. And when he retired, he asked me to take over the company. He trusted me with his legacy, so I accepted his offer. I've been running this company since then and helped it grow into what it is today, one of the leading construction firms in the country.
So, you're saying that your company is doing well enough that you can offer such good working conditions, even for part-time hires?
Well, it turns out that the circumstances I faced back then, they're not that uncommon. Young, uneducated people are left to fend for themselves since they have no one to rely on, and they often end up in trouble or worse. I wanted to provide them with an opportunity to make something of themselves the way my boss did for me. That's why I want to offer the best benefits for my staff here, so that at least one person can avoid experiencing the same kind of doom that I did when I was younger. I am sure you apply for the position because of the excellent condition, but you should have at least done some research before coming in for the interview. You would have seen my name noted there as CEO. Or did you not bother to check?
I had no idea.
So what do you want to do? You ran off as soon as you saw my face. You looked like you saw a ghost. But if you come back now, I'll do you the courtesy to at least go through the interview. I won't hold your past against you. I'm not that petty.
Well, I don't know.
Just make up your mind already. Are you willing to work for me or not? I've already set aside enough time for you, so don't make me wait any longer for an answer. It's a simple yes or no question.
You're crazy if you think I'm gonna work for you. Don't think you can be so bossy just because you run that business. It still doesn't change the fact that you're a high school dropout. You have no education, no skills, no talent. By the time I'm the same age as you are now, I'll have made so much more money than you. I'll have a better career, a better life, a better everything. So you better brace yourself to be made a fool. You'll regret ever messing with me.
Why do you have to be so stubborn if you just apologize like any normal person? I would have just let all this go. Like, no big deal. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you should be grateful that I'm even giving you a chance. But instead, you're still acting like a spoiled brat.
Who do you think you are telling me what I should and shouldn't do? You just happen to be lucky enough to be appointed to that position. You didn't earn it. You didn't deserve it. You just got it by chance. You'll always be a good-for-nothing dropout to me. A loser. A failure. A nobody.
Sure, that's enough. Now you better not contact me ever again. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to know you. I am afraid that the longer I keep talking to you, the more my IQ will fall to your level. You're a waste of time. A waste of space. A waste of oxygen. Goodbye, Harley. And good riddance. After that, Harley left the office, refusing to go through with the interview. To be honest, I thought that this was a good opportunity for us to make amends. But I guess things don't always work out as planned. In the end, he was never able to get any job offer for any corporate position like he wanted. He is working part-time at a supermarket and living on his own in a shabby one-bedroom apartment. However, since this one incident, Harley has never contacted me to ask me for any kind of help. So I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is actually making an effort to make something of himself. I have absolutely no intention of helping him financially. But he's still my little brother, so I guess I can root for his success in the corner of my mind. On the other hand, my parents' lives took a huge downfall as a result of their foolish behaviors. They were overwhelmed with debt and completely disappeared from town. So who knows where they are now or what they're doing right now? But for Harley's sake, perhaps this was the best outcome since he no longer needed to be around those two failures. I don't even know the number of times they've insulted me as a good-for-nothing. But luckily, I had a drive to work hard and honestly, unlike them.